Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and today we are going to hopefully wrap up the first segment at least of this tutorial guide. Give me a second, we're just passing 18,000, so we're going to switch our altimeter over to, that's not what I want, to standard. There we go. Anyway, we're going to complete this flight plan that we've been working on, and we're going to be landing ourselves into Los Angeles International. Okay, it's the same configuration, same weight, same pretty much everything. I did have the startup be at the on the runway this time, so I didn't start the aircraft. Try to save a little bit of time for myself here. So we're en route to Los Angeles. We're climbing up to 24,000 feet. It has been directed by ATC so far. Hopefully they'll give us our clearance all the way up to 36,000 here soon. Yeah, so hopefully today we'll complete an ILS approach into runway 25 right. Regardless of whatever ATC tells us, that's where we're going to go. We're going to go to ILS 25 right. So if for any reason ATC going into Los Angeles gives us anything different, then we're just going to ignore them and bring it in. That way you guys can see, again, for the purposes of the document, you guys can see everything from start to finish all the way down to the runway. All right. So speaking of the dock, I got the takeoff information updated last night, so we're all the way through takeoff as far as in the document itself. Now, as far as obtaining the document when it's time, I think what I'm likely going to do is be looking at like a Patreon subscription where you guys will have access to any of the documents I make, and that's going to be obviously this A320, going to be looking at the 747, the 787, a couple of Cessnas, the Cessna 182 and 172s, documents on VFR planning and flight planning and execution. There's going to be a lot of docs to come, so I mean, I'm going to make sure that there's good benefit in subscribing to a Patreon site. I'm also going to have a subscription up for the YouTube channel, but that'll just give you access to my personal Discord. Anyway, so the whole purpose, and I crimmed and quarreled for a bit about whether or not to try to get any financial gain from the dock, and I decided on this one was okay because I've got a lot of hours into this thing, guys, and it's not even complete yet, and I doubt it'll be complete for many months. I mean, this will be, once I get all the excuse me, all the approach information in there all the way down to landing, you know, that's revision 1. You know, that's the first revision of it. You know, as there's still RNAV, VOR navigation, go-arounds, touch and goes. I mean, there's still plenty of information that needs to be put into it, and as far as operating the A320. So, you know, we're going to have to, hang on, I'm going to request an altitude increase, see if they'll give it to me. Increase by, what would that be, 8,000? Expect level 460. No, I don't want that. Never mind. Oops. Request altitude decrease. Oh, flight level 380. I want to actually request cruising altitude decrease by 4,000, I guess. This thing, the way this thing works is really stupid. It keeps telling me to expect level 420. Yeah. Decrease again. I don't want to go that high, guys. It's trying to send me up to 42,000 feet. There we go. 360. There we go. So climb and maintain 30,000. Alright, so let's go ahead and get up there and send her up. So anyway, there's a lot to come. A lot of work I put into it. I mean, like I said, I've got so many hours into this thing already. It's pretty crazy. It really is. So I hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. I've gotten a lot of good feedback. Please continue to give, effective criticism, positive criticism, in the aspect of if I'm doing something wrong, if there's a step that I'm missing, maybe doing something out of sequence, let me know. You know, I don't want the dock, especially if I'm going to be asking for any kind of money for it. You know, I want it to be a good dock. I want it to be something that someone who's brand new to the aircraft, maybe brand new to airliners in general, can pick up and at least walk through what's in it and be able to successfully complete it. So, you know, that's really important to me that I accomplish that goal. Alright guys, so we're getting into our descent now. We just got instructed by ATC to descend to 28,000 feet. So we're going to start looking at setting up the approach information and making sure everything's right here. Now, if we can look down here, we can see that at Cebu we're going to be looking at about 9,000 feet. Okay, and then the idea here is that there's a 3x3 law at 9 miles. We want to be at 3,000 feet for the 3-degree glide slope. So we're going to go ahead and start planning our descent here based on, you know, where we're at in relationship to the runway. Now we still got a minute here. We're going to come through Cebu, and then we're going to, once we hit the decel point, if we scroll out here a bit, you can see we sort of turn in, and then we'll get on to the approach for LAX. As we get closer, we're going to have to get some information from LA and start plugging it into the MCDU. You are 33 feet below your assigned altitude. What are you talking about? Why am I stuck on? Did you do it again? I swear to God, yes, you did. I would love to find out what that bug is. I cannot. Like, just suddenly the speed brakes will arm and deploy. Yes, acknowledge the instruction. You know what's happened? It's not set up. I can tell you right now it's not set up. That's why. So let's do this. So now we're going to find the ILS 25 right, the Hollywood 1 arrival, via Cebu, insert. And now we should have what we're looking for. There we go. Oh, so we are coming through LICOM. So let's come back up here. There we go, 25 right. Yep, so here we go. LICOM, we should be at 9,000 feet. Roughly 1,000 feet per mile on into the touchdown. So we just want to make sure at LICOM we're at 9,000. As long as we're there, we'll be on point and be set up for our landing. Descend and fly. 220 is what they're looking for. So let's go back to ARC. 220. Come on. I hate it when it does this. Go. There she goes. Alright, we're to descend and maintain 13,000 feet at 270 knots. So 13,000. Helps if you have it on the right setting. I don't know what I was thinking there. Alright, it's 270 knots. It's going down to 13. Okay, there's the descent. Alright, so we're going to tune ATIS here. Now we're just getting told to descend and maintain 10,000. I really do need ATIS, so what was it? 133. Alright, so we're going to have winds 257 at 3. We're looking for temperature, so what we're going to do now is we're going to come down here. We're going to go to our performance. And we're going to activate the approach phase. You have to hit it twice. 29902 is the altimeter. Temperature is 15. Winds 257 at 3. And we need the MDA, the minimum, so we're going to come up here to the approach chart again. Assuming I know how to read one of these. It's all frequency information. Okay, right here. Here's our minimum, so 200 feet. This is basically the altitude where if we do not have visual acquisition of the runway, we go around. Alright, and we're looking at 151 knots on our approach speed. Alright, and that's it for there. So now we can come back up top. Still descending down to 10,000. We're below 17,000, so we'll switch our altimeter back to barometric. And we're about 9 miles out is when we'll start configuring for the approach. Alright, so now we are going to start configuring. So we're going to we don't have to worry about the approach charts. We're going to go into LS mode for the ILS activation. I'm going to start slowing us down to 200 knots. We're down below 220. We can go flaps 1. We're going to set our auto brake to medium. We would only use max if we're on a very short runway or very heavy. We just got told to descend and maintain 3,700. Alright, so you can see we're already picking up the localizers, so I'm going to activate the localizers. I'm going to go ahead and come down to 180 knots. Actually, we'll go down to 170. Oop. Alright, we're talking to approach now. Winds 257 at 3. We're clear to enter the ILS approach for 25 right. Localizer set. Now we're going to go ahead and activate the approach mode. Our indicators here indicate the ILS approach. We're going to go ahead and go flaps 3. Or flaps 2, excuse me. Going to go gear down now. Lights on. Oh, damn it. For landing, light goes to taxi. Beacon on. Chime the crew. And we'll go ahead and go full flaps. And come down to our approach speed. camera's wigging out here. $146 knots is what it wanted, sorry. Get the camera back up. Alright. So at this point, we're just going to ride the glide slope in. Glide slope. Now, if we come down a little bit, we can see a couple of indicators. You can see the GS here is green. That means the glide slope is acquired. The green LOC, or lock, indicates the localizer is acquired. When we went to LS mode, you can see the ILS information for the 25 right approach. We can see that we're on point for the horizontal approach. It looks like vertical we're a little high still, but maybe not. Oh, we were definitely high. Come on, girl, get that nose down. Alright, so that was my fault. I didn't manage my altitude. Alright, so I'm going to come off the autopilot and see if I can fix this by scaring the crap out of our passengers here. Yeah, I know. Turn the auto throttle off. Very steep approach. This absolutely should have been a go-around. I'm just watching that purple vertical triangle there, or carrot. Once it starts coming up, we can pull back a bit. I'm at 0 throttle. Alright, there, we rejoined the localizer. So I've just scared every one of our passengers. Floating, floating. Reverses out. Looking for under 70 knots. Good. Reverses back in. And normally we would clear the runway at that point. Okay. So a couple of mistakes there, obviously. Not a great job managing my altitude. I totally forgot to pay attention to it. So obviously a bad thing when flying an Airbus. So make sure that you're still monitoring your altitude even after you've acquired the glide slope in the approach mode, because it will lock down on the altitude that you're set at. So that was where I messed up, is we had already passed the altitude point that we had programmed in the FCP, and so that's why I had to make that crazy dive down. We had the glide slope, we had the localizer, everything was locked in, but we weren't following it because I didn't tell the computer to do so. So totally my fault on that. But other than that, so at this point we would hit the runway turn off here. We'd clean up the aircraft, bring our speed brakes up, lock them back out. We would take off our landing lights, keep the taxi light on, runway turn the flight off. Gosh, I can't talk. Alright, and then we can come out of LS mode. And at this point, approach mode disabled, and taxi to your gate. Alright guys, so let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of this one. If I missed anything, if there were anything that I should have done differently, by all means, please let me know. Let me know if you guys are feeling comfortable with this. This is the information that's going to be in the guide. I probably will run through this approach one more time before I actually lock it down in the guide. Just give this a day or two, see what you guys think of it, and then we'll go from there. I will see you guys in the next one. Hope you're all doing well. Take care.